welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lily. I'm a holistic health coach specializing in gut health, and my passion in life is really helping people heal themselves from the inside out using real food and holistic lifestyle interventions. So my YouTube channel is going to be just that. We're going to talk all things nutrition, healthy cooking and recipes. We're going to talk mindset, lifestyle, and also what I like to call intuitive alignment. So really learning how to trust your gut, trust your body, and make decisions in your life that are best suited for you and in alignment with where you want to be and who you want to be in life. So if all of that interests you, then make sure to hit the subscribe button at the bottom so that you can follow along. And let's get right into this first video. So this first video is going to be all about bone broth, because bone broth is really near and dear to my heart. It has been a huge part of my healing journey, and I really hope that you start incorporating it into your everyday routine as well. In this video, we're going to go over all of the benefits of bone broth. We're going to go over the different ways that you can incorporate bone broth into your everyday routine, and we're also going to be making a really simple chicken bone broth together, so you can follow along if you would like. And I hope you enjoy this video. Please let me know if you have any feedback, any questions or comments, and what you would like to see next on this channel. I wanted to make this first video all about bone broth, and the reason for that is because bone broth is kind of a forgotten food. It's a universal tradition that has been used and made all over the world in all of the tribes that we have studied, and there's a good reason for that. Bone broth is such a nutrient-dense powerhouse. It can be used in so many different foods in so many different ways. You can sip it just out of a cup or a mug. You can add it to soups, stews, you can cook or steam vegetables in it. There are so many different recipes. Every chef around the world will tell you that a good homemade stock or broth is like the base of all dishes. And so we really want to find ways to reincorporate this amazing magical food into our diets, not only for the amazing taste and the great ways you can use it in your food, but also because it is so nutrient dense and so healing for our bodies in so many different ways. Before we get into it, I do want to talk about some of the benefits of bone broth. So first of all, calcium. Calcium is something that we are lacking in our everyday modern diet. Part of this is because the best sources of calcium either come from grass-fed dairy or from bones, animal bones. There is some calcium in plant foods, but it's not as bioavailable, meaning that it's not as easy to absorb, because there's something called oxalic acid in these plant foods that basically inhibits our bodies from absorbing the calcium. And you also just don't find them in in high concentrates compared to animal foods. The other amazing benefits of bone broth are collagen, which is what everyone talks about. It's like the trendy thing on social media these days. But the reason collagen is so good for us is not only for our hair, skin, nails, but also because it creates our tissues, and tissues is what makes up every organ in our body. It helps us with anti-aging, to keep us young and youthful and strong and vibrant. Collagen is also great for detoxification, and this is something that a lot of people don't know, and I actually didn't know this until recently either, but there is an amino acid in collagen called glycine, which is really great for helping the body detox. And glycine is also a great amino acid that helps with relaxation. So this can really help with mood, it can help you with anxiety, and it helps you to regulate dopamine levels in your body. So it's just a great mood enhancer, just another reason why you want to add some bone broth in your diet, especially during these stressful times. And then probably my favorite part of drinking bone broth regularly is for the gut healing benefits. The collagen in there is a big reason why it's so healing. It helps to repair the gut lining, especially because of the glutamine amino acid in collagen, which is really great for supporting the gut lining and rebuilding those tissues so that you can repair your leaky gut. And then the last really great benefit of bone broth, especially chicken soup or chicken broth, is just really helpful in supporting the body when you are sick, especially when you have a cold. And this is a tradition that has obviously been passed down for generations and for a good reason. It's just super nourishing for the body. It's easy for the body to digest. It doesn't have to work too hard, but it can get all of those nutrients from the bones and the vegetables that you put into it. So a great healing remedy for you. So let's get into how you make bone broth. Obviously there are varieties that you can make. You can make all sorts of bone broths. Turkey bones, you can use chicken bones, you can use beef bones, lamb bones, whatever it is. The most important part is that you do get them from a quality source. So you want to try and get grass-fed bones, pasture-raised bones. And the reason for that is because you are extracting all of the minerals and nutrients and collagen from those bones. So obviously you want them to come from healthy animals. But making bone broth is great for the environment too, although it doesn't sound like it. But these animals are dying for our health, and because of that, you want to try and use the whole animal. You know, that's what all of these ancient tribes did. They did really a nose-to-tail diet. They used every single part of the animal that they hunted, and that's just more of a appreciative way, I think, to eat animal foods if you do decide to do that. So not only are we getting the benefits, but we are also paying our respect to the animal that died for us to eat it. When making chicken broth, it's pretty simple. Making bone broth in general is actually very simple. You just want to add the bones and some vegetables into a big stock pot, or you can use a slow cooker, which is what I'm going to use today, or you can use an Instant Pot. The Instant Pot isn't as great of an option just because the whole point of making bone broth is to let it simmer on a very low heat for a long period of time, because that's what's going to pull out and extract the nutrients and the collagen as best as it can. And the problem with the Instant Pot is that the temperature is a little too high. But that being said, it's still a great option if that's all you got and that's the easiest thing for you in terms of convenience. Definitely do that. It's not that big of a deal. If you do have a slow cooker, this is my favorite option because it does have to cook over a long period of time, usually about 18 to 24 hours. And having it on the stove can be a safety hazard, so it might be easier to just leave it on in a slow cooker. So let's talk about chicken broth first, because this is probably the easiest type of broth, and over a week or over a couple of weeks while you're eating chicken at home, you can collect the bones and leave them in the freezer, and over time you'll have enough bones to make bone broth. And that's what I have here. I roasted an entire chicken a couple of weeks ago, and I just collected the carcass and all of the other bones in here, and I froze them, and this is what I'm going to use to make my broth today. And then with that, you just have your vegetables of choice. The most common ones for any broth are celery, garlic, onions, carrots, black peppercorns, bay leaves, salt, pepper, and then parsley. And when it comes to chicken broth, the best and most nutrient-dense way to make this is to add chicken feet. And I know that that's a very foreign and very weird concept for probably a lot of you, especially if you've never made broth before. It's not necessary, but it will add that extra boost of nutrients and collagen to your chicken broth. The chicken bones just don't have as much cartilage in them as some of the beef bones do, and so adding chicken feet, which I'll show you. So I just buy them like this at my local health food store. You can probably also get them at the butcher. They are not the most beautiful thing to look at, but nothing's going to waste, and these chicken feet are so high in collagen that they're going to add a gelatinous texture and consistency to your chicken broth, which is really what we want, because if it's gelatinous, when it goes into the fridge and it cools, that means that you have a lot of collagen and a lot more nutrients in there. So it's really worth it if you can buy them, and they're affordable, they're not expensive. So just add a couple of these to your bones, to your chicken bone broth, and you'll have an excellent and super nutrient dense bone broth. So now let's make the chicken broth so that I can show you guys how it's done. And like I said, it's very, very simple. So we're just going to start with adding our bones to our slow cooker. I'm just going to add those all in, and then we're going to add some chicken feet as well for that extra collagen. I add 2 or 3 in here. And then what we're gonna do next is chop up the vegetables. You can just chop them really roughly. It doesn't really matter because at the end we're gonna strain out all of the bones and the vegetables, so to just have the broth. So it doesn't really matter how finely you chop these. And another great tip actually for adding vegetables to your broth is to save vegetable trimmings over the week. The parts that you would usually throw away or compost, save those in a Ziploc bag as well in the freezer, and then you can add those really great to your broths as well, so nothing goes to waste. Celery. This celery is also looking kind of old, but this is totally fine. You wouldn't want to eat this at this state anymore, but that's exactly when you can use it to make broth. And then lastly, the parsley. The parsley you don't want to add until about 10 minutes before your broth is done cooking, just to also maintain the nutrients and the flavor. So we're going to hold off on this until about 10 minutes before the broth is done. But we do want to add some black peppercorns. So we'll just add a couple of those. And then some bay leaves, maybe like 1 or 2. Just to add some more flavor. This is a big one, so I'm just gonna do one of these. Perfect. And then the salt. I recommend adding the salt at the end for the best flavor, but you can certainly add it at the beginning as well. That's just kind of personal preference. So I'm gonna do that then. And lastly, what we talked about earlier, we wanna get some acidity in there. For all bone broths, you really do wanna add some acidity to help draw out the minerals. So we're gonna do apple cider vinegar. So I've got my apple cider vinegar. You want to use the one with the mother, which is just like the little sediment at the bottom, because it's going to have all of those great nutrients and minerals in there. And you want to do about a 1/4 cup. You don't have to measure it. It doesn't have to be exact. All right, so we have everything in the pot. We've got our bones, our vegetables, our bay leaves, our peppercorns, all the goodies, the garlic, the apple cider vinegar, and the last thing we need is obviously water. So do make sure to use filtered water, as it is the base of the broth. You don't want to add any of the fluoride or the heavy metals or anything else that may be in your tap water. So we're just gonna add water, and you just want to add enough water to cover the bones. Turn this on, and we're gonna have it on low, and I'm gonna turn this on for about, I'm gonna start with 12 hours, and if I can hit more than that, then we will do that, and then that's it. And then you just add the lid and you let it cook. All right, so it's now the next morning. There's 10 minutes left, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a whole bunch of parsley. The house smells amazing. I'm gonna add all of it. Alright, so our bone broth is officially done. I'm gonna go ahead and strain it. So this might be a little bit difficult if you are using a crock pot, but we're gonna do the best we can. So that's what it looks like, and it smells amazing. So we're just gonna strain it and keep the liquid. Chicken bones, if you cook them enough and they get really nice and soft, you can actually eat these and get even more calcium. So if you are up for it, I highly recommend it. It doesn't taste bad at all. What you can also do is, see, these aren't all the way cooked, but you can tell that the knuckle parts is already like more mushy. And it's good. Add some salt to it.
but you can actually just cook it further if you want the whole bone to just get nice and mushy and soft. And then you can either add it to soups or you can just eat it like this, or if you want, you can just toss it, no big deal. That is our beautiful chicken bone broth. And if I would have used this stock pot, I would have obviously gotten a lot more, but that's all right. We have this beautiful, really rich and super nutrient dense broth that we can now use. We can sip on it. We can make soup out of it. We can add it to stews. We can steam vegetables in it. There's so many ways to use bone broth, and it's absolutely amazing for your health, especially your gut health. So I hope you guys give it a try and let me know what you think.